to the Booty Call to Pride channel. I'm your girl Michelle Tillman, and y'all, I have been working on plenty of reality TV shows in the Carolinas over the last 10 years. So I have a little bit of insight about how these shows work. So I wanted to make sure I give y'all my 2 cents on Married at First Sight. This is season 13, episode 10. Y'all, I have got to start with Jose and Rachel because I'm feeling some type of way, okay? Like, I was like watching the episode, like, okay, I can't wait to talk about this. So let me just go through the motions and kind of like tell you what's going on. Okay, so this episode, Dr. Viviana talks to the couples about intimacy and how, because they're in this experiment, they have to build trust in an accelerated way, which I totally get. That's what Married at First Sight is all about. So one of the questions was, what were they scared to tell the partner about, or something to that effect. She said she was scared to tell him about her infidelity, or basically that she cheated on someone in the past. Then Dr. Viviana was like, what's y'all sex life like? And they got all quiet and acting like kids, like all that stuff. So I was just like, okay, that's weird. But basically they were saying that they enjoyed it and all that. So she asked about where they were with trust. She said she really trusts him, like what he says, he means. And he basically replicated the same thing. But I was like, there was a little hesitation because I was like, he looked like he wanted to say something, but he didn't say it. But okay, we're going to go with what you said. So let's get to the juicy part. So Rachel says they show the story and they do the clip of all the like stuff after the camera crew leaves. And the film is rolling in the apartment they're staying in. And she slips up and calls him another man's name. Now, I know it's not too many men who gonna be like, oh, that's all right, don't worry about that. Especially after you done said you have cheated on someone before. So he mad, he big mad. I'm talking about he's cussing her out, like straight slam out, like talking to her like a dog. And she was like, no man is gonna talk to me like that. No man. And he was like, well, get out then. Get out then. And she was just like, they didn't show her leave, but apparently later she left because she tried to come back in the house and she was knocking on the door like, and homeboy had locked the door. Baby, I don't care what I called you. If you lock the door on me, oh, all hell is going to break loose. I could not believe this man locked the deadbolt lock on her. So he even tries to go tell his story to all the guys when they are playing golf and talking about how it all built up. And even the guys are like, that don't make no sense. How she ready to divorce you, and how you accidentally locked the door, and how you locked the deadbolt on accident and you didn't know your wife was still out, or why didn't you call your wife to see, hey, are you coming back home? All that stuff. You just gonna lock the door? Now, I was team, maybe Jose is not controlling. I was like totally like that at the beginning. I was defending him and the way he did things with the money and, just being organized. I was like, he's just organized. But no, this episode has shown he is definitely controlling, and any little time he can use his upper hand to control a situation, he will. So this episode made, like, if I was her, ain't no coming back from that. Because when you will do all of that with the cameras rolling, with all the people seeing how nasty you are, how you cussed me out in front of my friend, oh, heck no. You gonna cuss me out and you gonna lock me out in one episode? And when the TV cameras are rolling, if they was at home and there was no cameras, I believe he would have two-pieced her. I believe he would have did something a whole bunch worse. And I believe that is her red flag. That is a red flag. That ain't no, oh, I was just mad. That ain't no, okay, let's work through it. Nah, If she worked through that, girl, I don't work through a whole lot of stuff in my life. But what you're not gonna do is lock me out, and then say he had to secure his property. Bro, you ain't paying for that apartment. The production is. So hush. Woo, just, oh, that made me so mad, y'all. Okay. So then when she tries to, like, the production team is like, hey, what are y'all doing? Don't give up. Don't give up. And go back in and talk it through. So she's like, okay, I don't want to leave things, unsettled. So she goes back in and tries to talk to him. Number one, he in there acting like a princess and won't even look her in the face and is back there washing dishes. And she was like, I would like it if you would face me and look at me so I can see if you're paying attention. And so he's not even really paying attention to what she's saying. He's real nonchalant, like, yeah, if you need help packing, let me know. I'm like, that's some girly stuff. First of all, sweet, very sweet. And I just think it was so immature, nonchalant, didn't care what he did, didn't see that was a huge deal. So even his reaction about how he reacted was a red flag. So I done spent 6 minutes talking about them, but yeah, that's a hot mess. Oh, and the icing on the cake. Ryan said she accidentally called you Johnny. Jose. Sis. Yeah, I said that right. Sis. Jose. Sis. Are you really mad because she called you Johnny? It's not like she called you one of her exes. She called you another cast member's name. Like, are you serious right now? Sis/bro, are you serious? Like, oh, I can't do him. Okay, and speaking of who else I can't do, Michaela and Zach. Okay, I can't do Zach right now. So they show him going hard in the gym, talking to his friend. And then he tells a story about how he wanted to go home to get his Apple TV so they could watch a movie. But then he got home and realized he was sleepy and he didn't want to come back. Bruh, you know she has trust issues. You can't go home to get a TV and then get too sleepy to bring your tail back. I mean, is Houston that big to where you live that far to where you didn't realize you was tired before you left? Now, I know Michaela is a little cray-cray, but what you're not going to do is keep putting situations to give her reasons to be like, I don't trust you. So this episode, I was kind of like, okay, I'm on Michaela's end at this point because Zach is not totally logical. And I think Dr. Viviana helped him to see that because she was asking where the trust level is. Michaela said 50%. And he was like, basically, his whole thing was, it's not that I don't trust her. I just see who she is. And this is how she gonna be. Now, one thing I can say is he's probably the type of person where he don't really want to do the work. He don't really want to be like, okay, yeah, you got issues. Let's go to counseling. Let's do this until you can develop and become the type of person who doesn't have knee-jerk reaction. He like, no, that's who you are. And I'm not going to try to change who you are. That's too much work. I won't do all that. I just need somebody who already come, done, well done, prepared. Here's the plate, ready to be served. He ain't ready to have to do all that work. And honey, let me tell you, marriage is work. And everybody has something. Nobody's gonna come into the marriage perfect. Everybody has something. You just have to decide if you can deal with their something. And what it sounds like is he's saying, I can't deal with her knee-jerk reactions. But sir, I couldn't deal with somebody saying they're gonna go do something and then they get too sleepy and they stay at home. That sounds like you had some other plans. That's what that sounds like. Or he's always saying how he needs time alone. Okay, I get it, but you married, bro. It's only been a month. If you can't stick it out a month, I don't know. And then even Dr. Vivian was like, do you think you perfect? Now, I think she might have been, going a little too far with that part. He didn't make it seem like he thought he was perfect, but I just think he has a misunderstanding of what working through something looks like. And it's like he has mentally gave up in his head because even when they were playing the blindfold game, he was like, he's doubtful about their future. And that makes her doubtful. I mean, and who wouldn't be doubtful? She might be a little cray-cray. She might go off, but she's willing to change. She knows she has issues and she wants to go through it. So, okay. It's a lot more I could say, but I'm running out of time. I'm already at 9 minutes. Okay, so Bao and Johnny. Basically, she poured her heart out to Johnny and told the story about how she used to pass her trailer whenever she would get off the bus. She didn't want people to know where she lived, how she lost friends because her dad was known as the town drunk. Like, that's some deep wounds, like listening to her story, like we all were saying, oh, she's got issues and stuff, like, but not like explosive like Michaela, but based on what she's been through, yes, she's got some things she's got to work through, and I can understand where that comes from. So, but she also says she doesn't pick up the little moments where Johnny's checking her out, like, and she was putting the salmon in the oven. But she also mentioned she wants things to get more spicy. She want to have, and of course, sex and all that stuff more often, hopefully every day or at least every other day.